Hello and welcome to Business as Unusual. This is now episode 8 and happy hump day. It's Wednesday, everyone, for those people that have forgotten what day it is. My name is Megan from Greater London Properties. I hope your families are all safe and well. Just for the new people that are tuning in today, to let you know what we're up to. Greater London Properties started a support group on Facebook called Central London's Lockdown Support Group. This is mainly just to help businesses, whether they are open, closed, whether they're doing things for charities, and just get their word out there, really. So what we decided to do is do live chats at 11:30 every single weekday to meet the people behind the businesses, and just to find out a little bit more about how they're coping, and just to give them the exposure that they really deserve. Today, we're speaking with Ian Broderick. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Megan.
So Ian works for CV Hair and Beauty, which is on 57 Marchmont Street in Bloomsbury, an area that we are also based in and we absolutely love, so we share that in common. How are you coping, Ian, at the moment with lockdown?
I'm all right. I'm finding lots of things to do. I'm doing lots of painting, lots of gardening, and speaking to my colleagues on Zoom about what we're going to do post COVID-19. When I say colleagues, I mean other salon owners and the people from Treatwell as well, and some of the people that I know that are different kind of business advisors in the industry. And I think everybody agrees that it's going to be a very different world once we reopen. As an industry, we're very aware, from what I see from the network groups on Facebook, very aware that we're going to have to make changes, and not absolutely sure what those changes will be, because obviously the government's going to give guidelines as well, so we're going to have to work around those. But there are lots of different things going on behind the scenes. We want to ensure our clients' safety. We want to make sure that we're still looking after our clients post-COVID, but also now as well. If they want to email us via Facebook or get in contact via Treatwell, we're more than willing to talk them through things they might be thinking of doing themselves, just to make sure that, well, from our own point of view as well, that we're not dealing with disasters when they come back.
Yep, I think there'll be quite a few, unfortunately.
I would think so. I've had a few already. I've had people telling me they would sell me their kidneys and things if I did their hair, and I had, like, I don't know, 30 messages on the answering machine when I went to check on the premises the other day. Some people saying, well, should I still come for my appointment on Wednesday? No. Yeah. And lots of inquiries about all sorts of things. We're getting messages all the time. So I don't think people have forgotten us, and we certainly haven't forgotten our clients, but we're not physically at the shop at the moment.
I bet you're going crazy and wanting to get out your scissors and just cut anything at the moment.
I guess like driving your car. When I drove up to work the other day, I hadn't been in the car for, well, weeks now, and it's really strange driving a car when you haven't done it for a long time. So we're certainly talking about doing some training, not hairdressing training, but training in the new procedures before we reopen, to make sure that everybody's aware of what we've got to do to make sure people are safe. And yes, I miss doing hair, but there's lots to watch on YouTube and lots of things we can do to catch up with what's going on, which is not much obviously at the moment, but you know, people are putting stuff out there for training.
That's good. Tell for the people that don't know, tell us a little bit more about history about your salon, because you've been doing it for 17 years, haven't you? But it's got history.
Yeah, I've been hairdressing for 45, but I've had the salon for 17 years now. It's been a hairdressing salon for probably 100 years, I would imagine. It's one of London's oldest salons, and I took it over from a couple, and before that there was a guy that had it for probably 25 years, and before that another lady, and before that Kenneth Williams, his dad, Kenneth Williams, the comedian. So we've actually got a blue plaque above the shop.
That's so great.
Yeah, he lived there for many years, so we still get a lot of people taking pictures of the front of the shop and stepping out in the road and risking their life, you know, while they're taking pictures of the shop, and lots of people coming in and asking about it as well. So it's good. It doesn't really increase business, but it does increase our profile a little bit. And we've been on the TV when they put the blue plaque up and everything, as you probably know, Ricky, that does stuff with the blue plaques, and also there used to be, you know,
I've got Ricky. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And you know, well, at that time anyway, he was involved, and it was a great day. You know, we had the blue plaque across the street and all in the area has been a really, really good thing for Bloomsbury.
Yeah, it's such a thriving area. I do love Bloomsbury so much because it's central London. It's so close to everywhere else in central London. However, it is also surrounded by green spaces, and it feels like a community village. So I think it's not lost that village feel by being in central London.
No, not at all. Absolutely, yeah.
And I do feel like it is a community. Like once you know one person, and once you know, like for me, it's landlords mainly. But you know, you get connected with people, and then you know, you get connected with shop owners, and yeah, you become part of it. I absolutely love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like a little village. I mean, as I say, I've been there 17 years. It was a bit weird when I first went there because I come from the West End, where it's all a little bit more impersonal. And all of a sudden we had people coming in the salon that have been there, come in there for like 30, 40 years. And you get, you know, you see them come, and unfortunately you see them go as well, but not because they've gone to another salon, which is sad.
Yeah.
And so everybody knows everybody, but everybody tries to help each other. I mean, I got a phone call the other morning at 6:30 in the morning and telling me that the lights were on in the shop. It actually wasn't anything bad, but I drove up to check on the premises. So everybody seems to help each other out.
Yeah, everyone keeps a close eye on each other, which is really lovely.
Absolutely.
You've also won quite a few awards, haven't you?
Well, we won the Best Shopfront Award from Marchmont Street Association. I think the first 2 or 3 years we were open, and then we've been top rated on Treatwell for at least the last 3 years. And I work very closely with them as well. And that's been a lifesaver for us, because obviously on top of our own website, we've got the power of a much bigger kind of digital machine, if you like. And it's really a great way to not waste money on advertising. So what we do is we use them, and we look at using them as an acquisition cost. We use their software, so I don't even have to kind of put appointments in the book. Everything's done. And during the lockdown, what they've done is they are still taking appointments for, I can't remember how far in advance, but they'll also contact the customers for us if lockdown continues. So it's been great for us. And of course, I've got all these other salon owners that I'm able to talk to as well.
Yeah, so it's another, because one of my best friends who lives in Luton runs a salon. So if she's not already part of Treatwell, she could join as well.
Absolutely. If she can contact me, and I'll put her in contact with them. It's really been a lifesaver for us, and also because I've now got a support network of other salon owners. I don't feel like I'm having to make decisions on my own. We all kind of say, well, what are you doing about this? What are you doing about that? And probably pretty much like if you're members of any property estate agents associations, I think, the National Hairdressers Federation are fantastic as well. Well, actually, it's the National Hairdressers and Barbers Federation now. And they've been great. They're sending us lots of updates. We do some work with Weller as well. They've been really good. They're giving us the heads up on everything. And I have to say, Camden have been excellent. Really, some of the complaints I've heard about other London boroughs, I've got no complaints. Really, they've been really, really good.
Oh, that's really good to hear. I'm really pleased about that, because you have got to rely on your council every now and again. So
they're really, really terrific. Yeah.
No, I'm really pleased. And with this Treatwell, you're doing digital consultations?
We can do, or we actually haven't had anybody request that, but I have had a few of my own clients have kind of texted me and said, look, you know, sending me pictures of their hair, and I've used the clippers. How did I do? Fantastic. And, you know, people have pictures of people's roots, and, you know, lots of cries for help. But, you know, we do what we can. And if I get specific inquiries from clients about a particular stylist, I had one, so I sent him her email address, and then he told her what she should be doing until we reopen.
Well, that's great. I can actually see in the comments now from Eileen, just saying fringe trimming advice is needed.
Oh, right.
I think that's one of your regular clients.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. It's, well, you know, because otherwise people are going to sort of walk out on the road, walk into lampposts and all of that kind of happy stuff. And I do think from some of the pictures I'm seeing that people are sending me and saying, oh, it's terrible, it's awful. It's, if you've got a good basic cut and you take care of the condition of your hair, it's never really going to look dreadful. Like, so sometimes what's in the client's mind when they say they look dreadful, I've seen dreadful, and it's not like that.
They've done all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of our guys, you know, we've got really good hairdressers in the shop, and all of their clients, you know, the only thing that may happen is the fringe gets in the eyes, and if you've got a root tint, the roots are going to start to show. But there's lots of products you can get now that you just brush on the roots to hide it until you can actually colour it yourself. Are
there any that you would recommend?
Some people really want to colour their hair themselves. That, like, they can't wait. But, you know, there's a reason that we do a lot of training, and there's a reason that it's called a professional product, and there's a reason that we skin test, and there's a reason that you get a professional to do it. And the ones you buy in the boxes are okay, but you've still got to do the skin test. And you know, you just got to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a situation that might be even worse than those roots.
Someone's asking, what good toner would you recommend to help roots look less hardcore?
What do they specifically mean by hardcore? If you're talking about yellow,
I think it's when they're blonde and the dark roots are coming through.
So if you're talking about like a blonde colour that's gone, say, yellow, if you know, so in other words, you want to put a toner on it, I would probably suggest, rather than doing that, getting one of these blue toning shampoos and just like put it on and leave it on for 10-15 minutes, and that should take some of the yellow out. If you're talking about roots that are white, and by hardcore they mean they're really starting to show, then I'd maybe go on Amazon, and, you know, perhaps the search would be something like root touch up, and there are various products like powders and things that will hide that colour.
Okay, I've never heard of a powder trick before. That's quite clever.
No, they do. Yeah, they do it, and they do it in a lipstick form as well that you can kind of brush on the hair. They're quite good because you're not really dealing with a chemical.
Okay.
The worst thing is you go and buy the toner, and, you know, with the best will in the world, I can give advice, but unless I'm actually seeing the colour,
it's difficult.
It's really quite dangerous to give advice, because the person might put something on there, and then if it can end up looking even worse. So maybe you're better off leaving it. But if you use a blue shampoo, that should tone yellow out of the hair. It
just shows you're an expert, Ian. That's exactly, if someone asks me the price of their property without me seeing it, I can't tell them. So it just shows you're an expert. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really do a desktop valuation of somebody's hair.
No. I know that so obviously there is one thing that keeps happening at the moment, and there are a lot of wives that are cutting blokes' hairs, and people are either like cavemen or just be a little bit skew-whiff. Obviously the advice would be just to kind of leave it, but do you have any any tips on that at all?
Well, if you're using clippers and they're happy to have clippers all the way over, so in other words, it's like a little bit longer than mine, then just make sure you probably would start with the biggest guard you can, like a number 4 or a number 3, and just keep going over it, but make sure you keep your finger on the guard so that it doesn't fly off the clippers, because otherwise you're going to have a landing strip down the middle of your head. And, you know, if you're doing the sides, you don't, like, so say you were just trimming the sides up, you want to be pulling the clipper away from you like this. So going up and then pulling it away, just don't go straight up. Otherwise it's going to end up like this. So again, if you can wait, perhaps just trim the hairs off the back of their neck. It's perfectly safe trimming their beard with the clippers, you know, as long as you've got the guard on. But if you haven't got the guard on, you're going to end up with bald patches.
Yeah, my partner's waiting. He looks like a caveman, but that's fine. I'm not touching it. I'm going to leave it to the experts.
Yeah, just leave it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, hopefully it won't be that much longer now. You know, who knows when this is going to end, but I'm sure that the government are, you know, not going to steer us wrong on that one. And, you know, maybe they'll start easing some of the restrictions. Perhaps we'll be able to do a few clients. And, you know, then I think what's going to happen, though, because they opened the salons in Switzerland already, and there was a huge spike in bookings. So I would just say to people, if you have got a regular hairdresser, just keep an eye on the news. And if it sounds like things are going to open up, see, with us, as I said, we're already taking advance appointments through Treatwell, and yet Treatwell will contact them if the lockdown continues. So those appointments will be cancelled. But I think what may happen is people have been waiting all of those weeks, and then they try and book an appointment and they can't get an appointment because the phones are blocked. And, you know, the online slots have gone, because we'll need to allow cleaning up. I mean, this certainly will happen, that we'll need to allow cleaning up time in between appointments. So everything's got to be sterilised, ready for the next customer. And also you're going to have the distance between customers.
Yeah, so you can't have the salon full.
Yeah, so years ago, we would, you know, somebody would phone out and say, can you fit me in on Saturday? And you know your own column, you know how you're going to be, oh yeah, I'll slot it in there. But you won't be able to do that because there'll be too many people in the shop.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, and I think pricing obviously is probably going to be different in salons as well, because people won't be able to do so many customers. So perhaps some of the huge discounts that you see in salons won't be there anymore, because they'll have to take longer over the appointments.
I think it's understandable as well, though, because you've had to close as soon as COVID's happened. You can't necessarily generate any cash flow right now. So you're making up the lost time. And, you know, you have been impacted greatly by this.
Yeah.
But hopefully it also will bounce back quite well, on the basis that I think that the whole world has realised how crucial salons are within our, you know, within our daily life, just on the basis that there's even that meme. Did you see the video where it's loads of people are just running down the street and it said actual footage of when the salons reopen?
Yeah, I know.
It will be. Like, I think that's the first thing that everybody's thinking about doing. So it's great advice to say, kind of like, book in your appointments now, because I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people.
I think, you know, getting your hair done, perhaps, you know, I don't know, going to the dentist, and probably getting the MOT done on your car as well. Although they've given everybody 6 months, haven't they? If your MOT's due, you can drive your car for 6 months. So it's all it's just totally different from anything that's ever occurred. And I've been hairdressing 45 years, so I've been through quite a few recessions, but this is totally different. Yeah. It's kind of, I keep kind of pinching myself to think I must be dreaming, but it's not. It's like being in an end of the world film.
Yeah, I think about it every night before I go to sleep. Like, just before, I'm like, just can't believe it. Is this a dream? Like,
Yeah.
it's very strange. Like I said to you before, I never thought that we'd meet this way.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's crazy. But also something that I did notice, sorry, because when I did notice this, I was just like, yes, a lot of us that work, well, a lot of my colleagues always kind of try and rush home to like find, to get their salon because they close at a certain time.
Yeah.
You do late nights, don't you?
We're home till 8 o'clock every weekday. So
Brilliant.
we've done that for years. So that's our busiest time. I would say it's our busiest time of the day, because come like even 4:30, because some people can get out early. From 4:30, we're booked. It's unlikely that you can phone that morning and get an appointment for that evening, because all the evening appointments are booked up. But again, you can book online, either through our website or Treatwell, and when you go on there, it will show you all the available times. And if there isn't time for that treatment, it'll tell you that as well. So it's very easy. 24-hour booking.
That's great. Thank you so much.
And through Facebook as well, you can do it.
Ian, tell them how to find you on Facebook. So it's CV Hair and Beauty, isn't it?
CV Hair and Beauty, yeah. And
perfect.
We've got that, and we're on Instagram as well, and Twitter, and we've got the website.
What's the website again? www. Go on. I'll let you go.
cvhairbeauty.co.uk.
Perfect. So just so that people can visit you afterwards, and then have a little look. Thank you so much for joining us, Ian. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for having me, Megan, and I wish you best, and I hope everybody stays safe and stays well.
Thank you so much. And you. I can't wait to visit you when I get the opportunity.
Please do. Please do. Bye-bye now.
Have a lovely day.